Welcome back to another episode of Coach Confessionals on the Faster Way podcast. It is a new year.
Yes, it is.
It's 2024.
Thank goodness.
Okay, we are going to talk about our goals, a little bit about my theme, which is growth and strength. And I want to hear from you how you developed strength over the years because you're such an inspiration to me. But what's the best part of your year so far?
His name is George Bailey.
His name is George.
His name is George Bailey.
Tell me more. Tell us more.
Yes, George Bailey is a character from It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And when we were here on our last Coach Confessional talking about dogs and how much we love them and how they were going to live forever. And I had, it was the next week, my second dog passed away.
Yeah, you literally lost 2 dogs last year.
In 3 weeks. In 3 weeks. I was shocked, mortified. It was horrible. And I didn't realize how much they meant to me. And so you said, go get a puppy. And I was like, no, I'll go look. And then I looked, and then he just started sucking on my finger through the little kennel at this rescue center. Anyway, so George Bailey, It's a Wonderful Life, is my new best friend. He's the best part of my year, and I just can't wait for him to wake up. I can't wait to go home. It's
cute.
The best.
I love that.
He's awesome.
You lost 2 dogs and a cat last year.
Oh, yeah, and a husband.
My goodness.
It's been great. Thanks for letting me keep my job.
Yeah, we're leaving 2023 in the past.
I am leaving it behind, and I'm okay with it. You know, life is not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
It's about the resiliency. It's about how you come back. It's about what you're looking forward to. It's about the support that I have because you guys have been my family through this entire thing. I also found out my daughter has special needs.
Yeah.
Like last year was a doozy.
Yeah.
So I bring it. You know, I'm here
honestly,
for it.
I just want to acknowledge you right now for the fact that you're still standing, the fact that you're still smiling, the fact that you're still so mission driven. A lot of people would take the victim mentality,
Correct.
would hide in a corner, would become bitter. Like there's no shift in your aura. There's no shift in your energy. You are still on mission, you're still living on purpose, and you are so self-aware as well. Like just even as I've heard you in the office, like reflect on the year and then moving into this new kind of chapter, it really is amazing. So I just want to acknowledge you for that.
I appreciate it, but I can't say it without sounding corny. It's the people that I'm around. That is what lifts me up. It is my purpose. You know, hearing you speak about the reason why you even started the Faster Way. You were not in a great space when you decided to do something. And so there's a reason for all of these things to happen. And so I'm just going to take that as a charge. I'm going to take that as a gift. I'm going to take that as, okay, yes, I'm qualified to speak about these things now and hopefully meet people where they're at and go from there. So I appreciate it, Amanda. Thank
George
you.
Bailey.
George Bailey,
So
GB.
cute. I love it. Okay, I think the best thing that's happened to me is just watching our clients thrive with our new workouts.
My goodness.
It's bringing me so much joy.
Yes.
This is the most intense week of my year and maybe
Probably of
my
all
career.
your years.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been
super intense.
so many things have rolled out for our clients in just the past month that they didn't have access to. And, you know, you want to be able to help people and say, okay, I'm here to help you, but not do the work for you. And you've made our app so engaging.
Yeah.
I was not a fan. I'm not a fan of games
Yeah.
or stars until I started.
I know.
Now
I know.
I'm like,
I know.
"Ooh." And I mean, I only fasted, here's the confession. I only fasted 11 hours yesterday. And I was like, oh, I can't lie. I'm literally not going to get a star. I was like bummed about it. So it's really motivating. And hearing all of our people come together, the 14-day giveaway, all of it has been really fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's Coach Confessional, so it has been a really intense week. We rolled out the stars. It's gone over really well. But of course, with any new rollout, in technology, there are quirks and there are crashes and there are issues. So, you know, we've been dealing with some technical issues and that's always intense. And, you know, when you have tens of thousands, over 50,000 active clients and 3,700 coaches and 45 full-time staff and hundreds of contractors and also 5 kids. It's like, I'm not going to get through to 6:30 a.m. without a fire. And so it has been intense. But I think for me, having joy from watching clients succeed in our more intense workouts and rack up the stars, that's given me so much pleasure and satisfaction this week when, you know, it's been pretty intense. It really has. I mean, it's been challenging. But let's talk about our goals for the year.
Yes.
What's your word for the year?
Obedience.
Wow.
Ugh, it's hard to say every single time because it is a heavy word, right? It's a really heavy word. And, I was talking to a friend of ours and she said, why isn't your word surrender? And I said, well, surrender it's a passive word. If I'm surrendering, I feel like I'm laying down. And being obedient is an active word. And so I feel like God he pushed me here to Florida. He pushed me into these without question. Like there's never been a question. So I need to obey what he's telling me. I need to let go of some pride. I need to let go of some control. And I need to go with what his purpose is for me.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love doing a word for the year. I just found out that John Gordon, who wrote The Energy Bus, is the one who kind of like came up with this word for I'm speaking next week with him on stage at a conference. I didn't even know that. Actually, his wife is a friend. Yeah, I was like, oh, cool, John. So
and that's a big theme here is our words for the year. I mean, that has driven us since I've been here for 4 years with you. Tomorrow's my 4th anniversary here at Fastway. But your word is...
It's growth. It's growth. It's personal growth. It's professional growth. It's growth in our impact. I want 25% growth from the standpoint of the number of people that we impact. Yes. It is emotional growth, mental. It's growth in every area of my life, but it's also growth in my muscles, Lee.
Okay.
It's muscle growth. Okay. It's muscle growth. So last year, I started the year 6 months postpartum, and I was probably the weakest that I had been in quite a few years because after having Ty, who was my 5th baby, I took more time off than I'd ever taken. When I got back into the workouts, I really kind of slowly eased back in because I frankly needed to. I'm like a little older.
Which is hard to watch you ease into anything.
I know. Yeah. I could do HIIT, but I wasn't lifting heavy. And I will say that pre-pandemic, I went to the gym every single day. As a trainer, I never missed a day. I have always been a gym workout person, but the pandemic hit and I exclusively did at-home workouts and I haven't renewed my gym membership since.
Wow.
So I had to invest in heavier weights last year. I had to really take things a little bit more serious. And I ended 2023 stronger than I've been in a while, but now I want to continue that momentum with muscle growth. I'm feeling really confident in the gains, but again, I look at you as an inspiration because you have really grown, your muscles over the years. So I want to talk just a little bit about kind of your process. Yes. And then I want you to be my pro trainer for a second and give me tips because I want to grow the booty because big butts are in, friends.
They are in.
I want to grow my quads. I want to grow my upper body a little bit. Not too much because I feel really good about how it looks right now.
Right.
But let's talk about your journey.
Absolutely. There's a really fine line because there's so much that happens under your skin with body composition. So when we say we want to grow, that means we have to put something else on our body, and it's going to require things. It's going to require food. It's going to require sleep. It's going to require, consistency and heavy lifting. I did not want to be muscular. Now, this is my second marriage that's wrapping up. After my first marriage, I was really thin. So that's probably 30 pounds lighter than I am right now. And I was a triathlete. I was very, very, very into triathlons. I did halves. I was big. It was all my life. And I couldn't carry a lot of muscle because I wasn't fast. I wasn't doing triathlons to play. I was doing them to win. All right, just to be clear. So I had to be smaller. So in that divorce, I was so emotionally weak and sad. I didn't know how to get strong. I was looking for a part-time job. My kids were like 4 and 5 or something. So part-time job was personal training at a gym. So I began to treat myself as if I was training myself. Yeah. Okay. Pick up the thing. Next week, pick it up a little bit heavier. Next week, a little bit heavier. And then I went through these periods of, okay, now let's have endurance with that heavy lifting. And then let's lift heavier again. So there was an undulation of what I was doing. So I would get strong and then I would get confident in it. Then I would get strong. And in the end of the year, I looked in the mirror and was like, holy smokes, look at my body now. Maybe it was a year and a half. It wasn't what I was predicting. I was just doing the thing. I was like, pick up the bar and progressively overload your workouts throughout the entire year. So my journey wasn't results driven. It was emotionally driven. And then the results came, which is interesting because so much of us are looking to look like something. So when that happened, I was like, all right, this is a no-brainer. Anybody can just follow the bouncing ball. Let's just do the thing. That's what I thought, right? But it's not as easy because we do go through these different periods. And could care less about the scale. I was like, whatever, I don't even care. I'm just going to eat. I'm going to get strong. I'm going to eat. I'm going to get strong. Now, after that year and a half or something, I got on the scale and was like, dang, girl, that's some extra weight.
Wow.
But I said, you know what? I would rather trade that number for the way I feel. And that's kind of where I was when I started.
How old were you?
That was 35. I was
Got
35.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So it was about 15 years. And again, so I had these, what we call newbie gains, right? So my muscles hadn't had that stimulus. And I stopped running, like boom, like Forrest Gump. I was like,
wow.
I just stopped.
Wow.
So if you asked me to run a mile right now, that'd be hilarious. So when I stopped doing all of that cardio, I always picture it like one of those drip castles with the sand. You know, you got to just kind of let it build. And so all the waves were gone because the cardio was gone. So I was able to really build this structure. Then I was actually scared to bring cardio back. So it's been finding the balance. But the stronger I got, the more cardiovascular skill I needed to lift that heavy. So it all relates. And the faster way brings it together. Our HIIT sessions are what give me the high intensity that I need to lift those weights. Here's the deal, guys, and friend Amanda. Once you get this on your body, it's a lot harder to get rid of, right? So you've got this year to be able to sculpt, define, grow using this winter season right now to be able to pack on your form. And this is going to be,
Woo!
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you again. So 15 years ago, you kind of started the muscle building, and you're such an inspiration because you've maintained that muscle and continued to grow that muscle.
Yeah.
And I see you lifting heavy. Like I know you're getting those 50-pound dumbbells. Don't be mistaken here. At least getting those 50-pound dumbbells. So I do want to address a question we get quite often. Amanda, what workouts do you actually do?
Oh, please.
What workouts do So many people think that I add on all these extra bonus workouts. No. I do 4 or 5 of our faster way workouts a week, max.
Then that's it.
I have 5 babies. I run a very fast growing company. I do 4 or 5. I'm definitely on a 5-day streak here. Well, I guess, so when we're recording this, it's the 5th. And yesterday was a 24-hour fast, so I didn't work out yesterday. So, yeah. I'll do 4 workouts this week, 4 or 5 per week. I hate to miss one, but sometimes I do. And that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not adding bonus stuff, but let's talk about what I want to build.
Yes.
And a lot of people are going to relate to this. So I want to lift and build the booty strength. I want to kind of build out my quads a little bit. And my upper body, I just want to continue to strengthen, but maybe not like build. I know it's like, you're going to laugh at me because you can't get huge and bulky, but my upper body tends to get a little bit more bulky.
100%. And I love that you said that because people stop talking about genetics, right? And genetics, I mean, you've got a very strong upper body, and that definition is going to come. So if you're looking to grow a little bit of size in your legs, you're not going to be treating your lower body the same way that you're going to be treating your upper body.
Right.
And that is the prescription. And our splits, which is the division of our body parts throughout the entire week, are so sound and so logical. And the way that we have written our workouts, you guys, for everybody who doesn't know, we write for the entire year. We know what you're going to be doing in December. This is not a willy-nilly, what do you want to do today? What isn't sore? What feels good? This is a very scientifically prescribed program, and our food cycle matches. So right now, as we're coming off the holidays and we're sitting here in January working in these pod formats, which I love. We're creating such endurance for these muscles right now that when we start to bring it back up here in another about 6 weeks, it's going to be some heavy straight sets. And that combination is going to really allow you to see that difference.
Yeah. What moves specifically would you say, like, I need to pick up the heaviest weights for XYZ to build the quads in particular?
Yes. So the quads, what I love about that body part is you can do a lot with them, from a walking lunge to a step up to a leg extension to a squat to a sissy squat to a Bulgarian. If you lean back a little bit, you can get that back leg. Even just a front squat, a Zercher squat. Like, there's a lot that you can do. Leg press. Oh my gosh, I'm about to go on.
Heel elevated
goblet squats. Yes, and it's putting that emphasis. It's putting the weight into the toes, which is going to help kind of give you that. It's going to work on the front of your body. If you put the weight in your heels, it's going to kind of target that posterior a little bit more. But your core strength is really critical as well. A seated leg extension with a hold is a great way to kind of prime them before you go into those heavy dumbbell squats. Box squats, I love. I mean, that's a really great move too. But for those heel elevated squats, what people get lost in is the weight in placement to their body. Amanda, you hold it close like you hold your babies. And that really is, you can do it with like 45 pounds. That's like half your body weight.
Yeah. I need to do it with 45. I used to do it with 45 pounds. I need to get back to that. So really, my feet should be a little bit more narrow stance to build the quads,
and
the wide stance.
And do you have a leg press at home too?
I do,
yeah. And just a narrow stance leg press as well, right? Yeah. You've got so many options. And like I said, with this pod formats right now, we're going to target 3 different variations of the quads in every workout. Yeah. So you can do that. But really focus on lifting as heavy as you can for that straight set in the pod. That first endurance set, get it out, feel that burn. And then the second one is a little bit more unilateral sometimes. But on that third set, you pick up the heavy weights, girl, and you power through those reps. If we're telling you to do 8 reps, don't push pause. Don't say, hold on, let me get this out. I need you to get those 10 reps in. If the rest period's 30 seconds, take the deep breath and fight for every single rep.
Yeah. I think the key is heavier weights. I just have to keep pushing myself, because last year, again, I was easing in. I was I had a little bit of a sensitivity in my pelvic area, probably from having 5 babies.
Children. Who knows? I think that'll do it.
Who knows? I figured out it was from just a unbalance, kind of an imbalance that I had. And so now that's basically resolved. I can use the band as well during squats, which helps a lot. I just have to push myself to lift heavier.
Right, because you're in a comfort zone. You might get sweaty and breathless from the workout. You're like, man, I just worked out, but we need to get you out of that. And it's not necessarily that you're going to be sore. People a lot of times are chasing that soreness. You're drinking our BCAAs, you're getting enough nutrition, sleep now. Ty is sleeping better, so that's super helpful.
Finally,
But incorporating some creatine is absolutely going to help. I don't know if you know where we can find any.
I do know where we can find some. Stay tuned, Faster Way family. We are launching creatine. We have a pre-order later this month, later in January for our creatine. I'm so pumped. I'm going to start incorporating that consistently. So we talked about quads. Let's talk a little bit about booty. What are your favorite moves?
So the booty. So I did have a knee injury because I was trying so hard. Once I got the weightlifting thing down, I was like, okay, year 2, I had a goal. It was on December 14th. Let me just be clear. I had a goal to be able to squat X amount of weight. I got 1 rep in. And then I never stood up straight again. What? I was like, something ain't right. Yes, but
what year was
stubborn.
that?
So I was 37. Oh, I was mortified. And I was teaching boot camps on the beach, and I would have to drive next to my clients because I couldn't, but I was too stubborn. And I was not remarried, and I was broke, and I didn't want to go get surgery. So I didn't want to go get an MRI. So my first Instagram was Butt Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, because I was going to teach you how to build a butt without 1 squat or lunge. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So this baby back here, everything I've got is from deadlifting, roundhousing, and abduction. Only in the past 2 years, thanks to the Faster Way workouts and thanks to being here, have I put a bar back on my back. So I took a big break from doing any back squat.
What did you do to your knee?
I don't know. I won't go get it looked at.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Something
so deadlifts,
roundhouses. It's the abduction, and then hip thrusts started to come into popularity. So it was those that I did, but it was just that super hinge, super sumo, and then the abduction with a hold, and then roundhousing with a hold. Really a lot of isometric work too, which is what I love about iso stretch, because it'll take that position that you're uncomfortable in, and you got to sit there in it. So I was able to get strong from the inside, and It worked.
A roundhouse is body weight. And you say that a body weight exercise helped you build your booty.
I'm telling you. It gave my hips the mobility that they need to be able to recruit all of the muscles that are in that glute set. I mean, I think that's where a lot of people get mixed up is like, okay, well, I can do this. But if you're not engaging in the whole range of motion, you're missing out on a lot of fibers that can get recruited there. And that's the adaptation that you want to get through. So
Okay.
Single leg deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats with a wide step.
I love a Bulgarian split
Yes.
squat. Okay, with a wider step.
Yes.
All right. I used, I think, 20-pound dumbbells last week for the Bulgarian
do
split.
that.
So
That's
I'll do a
heavy.
wider step for that. Those felt amazing. How much do you deadlift?
225.
A 225 bar.
Well, a bar
with
with 245s on each side. It's not, something I do every day,
Yeah.
but I do these check-ins. So now that I kind of have this muscle, I go, okay, I hate bench pressing, but I check in every 6 weeks. Can I still do it? Got it. All right. Can I check in with this weight? Got it. And I just do a couple, 3 reps, make sure I still have that strength. Because if I don't have that strength, then my body starts to change. So again, it's all performance based. And so I check in on that. My back squat, I still am real ginger with because
Yeah.
every single day it's like kind of new with my knee. But I'm working on getting as low as I possibly can, sitting there in that depth. And then digging through my heels to stand up. So that's really fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is some serious, serious weight. And there's no reason that I can't match that.
Girl, friend, well, especially considering the relative weight. I do a goblet squat with 45 pounds. I'm a lot heavier than you. I need to step it up on that. Like hearing you say that, I'm like, oh man, I need to step it up. So again, all of these different nuances are the fun part of the exploration.
Yeah.
People are so results focused. They take the journey out, and the journey is literally the fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about upper body a little bit because I have a unique issue in that my shoulders are very strong.
They're gorgeous. Yeah.
And then it's the rest of my upper body that's not quite as strong. So I'm trying to decide kind of how to navigate that. I've always had shoulders of steel. You guys know on the Monday workouts, I could literally arm circle all day long. And I can do a pretty heavy overhead press, Arnold press, but I want to be sure that I'm balanced as well. So
Right.
would you recommend I go a little bit lighter on the shoulders
Well,
and then heavier elsewhere? What are your thoughts?
I love this question. So you're pressing, okay? How is your pull? What is your row
not
like?
as good. Yeah,
right?
probably
So-
20 pounds.
Yeah, so we can get you doing a bench row with a lot heavier. So again, you're also probably pretty front loaded from carrying your kids all the
Yep,
time. So
yep.
so you've got all the pressing motion. We need to get you to get those shoulders back in the right place.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can do better side lateral raises, even, Arnold presses. Those are some great moves.
Side lateral, I can do probably 15 pounds,
Yeah.
10 reps. But yeah, the row, I mean, I could do 25, 30 on
Yeah.
a single arm bench row, but I'm talking like a, bent over row.
Right, or a seated cable.
Definitely
And then even
weak.
just, working on those rear delts, rear delt flies and not letting momentum take those weights out of the sky. So you
Yeah.
need to pull it, hold it, even just some super heavy, like probably
Yeah.
30s in each hand, right? Just some little pulses too, just to stimulate.
Yeah.
But it's also training your triceps, training your biceps with higher repetitions right now.
Okay.
I believe, because the shape of your arm is going to evolve from there. But I do believe that with postural precision,
Yeah.
really focusing on those back and arm workouts too, lifting heavy, the pod format's perfect,
Yeah.
you'll see something.
So you would drop the weights just a little bit higher reps for the shoulder stuff while I work on strengthening and kind of
Yeah.
balancing out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my triceps have been stronger, my biceps have been stronger, my chest has been stronger in the past.
Right.
So I think that's kind of my main area.
And the
of focus.
strength, it's funny because the strength can be there. I had one time I had a client who he had a brain injury after running a half marathon. He was like a 30-year-old man. I got this whole special certification to work with people who did have brain injuries. So he comes back in the gym after being in a coma, right, for months. And I mean, he's in a wheelchair. He's got a handler. He's probably 130 pounds. I mean, he's tiny, no short-term memory.
Wow.
And he walks into the gym. He's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, oh, can you? the amount of strength this guy had, he could leg extension with these little tiny toothpicks. I mean, the whole rack. So you can be strong, but not necessarily see it. So I want you to really focus on that endurance. I know you got endurance, but let's put some dumbbells in there for him. What if you're doing arm circles with dumbbells now?
I absolutely could.
Sounds terrible to me.
Next Monday workout. So let's wrap up, but let's share just a few tips on safety, because we want you to be safe in these workouts if your goal is strengthening. And the reason we're talking about my goal, which is the strength and the growth and the gains, is because I believe that should be your goal too. I believe every woman should be chasing strength. We're not here to look good in bikini. That will be a byproduct. Right. Every single female listening, every male, we should be chasing more strength. That's it. Yeah. That's the goal. It's increase your weights by 25% this year. It's like, if you're just stinking around with 10-pound weights, what are you doing? Like you're literally just wasting your time. You're just doing cardio. Like we're not here to do cardio. We're here to build strength. That should be your goal this year. So what are some of your safety tips?
So my safety tips are, can you do all of the moves with body weight first? Okay. If you're having a hard time getting your hand up over your head, why would you put weight in it? Right? So we need to work on safety. Definitely pay attention to iso stretch, but work on the mechanics first and really get confident there. Follow the modifier. We have a modifier for every single workout, and don't take any shame in that. Right. If I wasn't back squatting for several years, I wasn't disappointed about it. I just said, what's my workaround? So because safety is a priority. So show up. Stay consistent. My daughter just finished she had a little moment of exercise. And so she said, I'm going to pick it back up. And she's like, man, I'm so sore. You're going to be sore every single time you stop. Stop thinking there's an end to this, and just make sure that you can master your body weight. Make sure you follow the modification. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you don't try to rush it. Make sure that you're focused in the workout, that you're not just going through the motions. Oh my gosh, I got a list. Look at everything the day before. You've got the moves right there, and ask questions. You've got coaches, you've got trainers, you've got us. Ask a question. The only question that we won't answer is the one that's not asked. So make sure that you reach out and ask the question about your form.
Yeah. Real quick, my 2 tips are practice with simply body weight before you move in. I still do that as a trainer with nearly 20 years of experience. I'll do the move, muscle memory comes back, and then I pick up my weights. Do it on video. Send us a video.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm struggling with my deadlift. I'm struggling with my squat form. I'm struggling with XYZ. Send it over to us. We'll critique you. We'll be kind about it. We'll critique. So deadlift is one of the hardest moves to do for especially newbies coming in. We want to be sure that you're safe. We want to be sure that you're lifting heavy with the right form. All right, this has been so fun.
So fun. Thanks, Amanda.
Best wishes, everyone, as you chase gains in 2024. Bye.